We are Team Pan, and we will be discussing our previous lesson on how to factor polynomial and polynomial equation.
So here is our first problem, x squared plus 7x plus 12. First, we need to identify what is the constant term and the leading coefficient. For this problem, the constant term is 12 and the leading coefficient is x, so it is gonna be 1. We need to find the possible real roots. So for this problem, the possible real roots of the constant term 12 is positive 1, positive negative 1, positive negative 2, positive negative 6, positive negative 3, and positive negative 4, and also positive negative 12. To find this, you need to look for the numbers that you can times and the answer will be 12. For the leading coefficient, it's just positive negative 1. So, to find the real roots, you must check the positive negative 1 to 12 if the answer will be 0 when you transpose to this problem x squared plus 7x plus 12. So let's try. Negative 3. Let's try negative 3. First, write the problem. Add the negative 3. And you need to compute. So the answer must be 0. For the second real root, it's just negative 4. And the answer will be 0. So therefore, our problem has the real root of negative 3 and negative 4. And the factor out is x plus 3 and x plus 4. You just need to change the sign of the two real roots. Problem, x squared plus 6x plus 8. So first, we need to identify what is the constant term and the leading coefficient. For this number, the constant term is positive 8 and positive 1. And you need to find the possible real roots of both numbers. Possible real roots of 8 is positive negative 1, positive negative 2, positive negative 4, positive negative 8. You just need to look for the numbers that when you multiply it, the answer will be 8. And for the leading coefficient, positive negative 1 is the answer. And to find the real roots, you need to check it number by number and transpose it to the problem or substitute to find the answer 0. For this problem, the real root is negative 2. So let's try negative 2. Negative 2 plus 6 parenthesis times negative 2 plus 8. So the answer is 0. And for the other real root is negative 4. You just need to substitute the negative 4 to the x or the variables of the given problem, and the answer will be 0. So the real roots is negative 2 and negative 4. Just change the sign to find the factor out numbers by the two real roots.
For our third problem, x squared plus 5x plus 6, let's first identify the leading coefficient and constant term and find their possible real roots. For the possible real roots of 6, we have here positive negative 1, positive negative 2, positive negative 3, and positive negative 6. Let's try the possible real roots of 6. Here, we try to change the variable of x of the given question into 1, and the answer must be 0. The other real root, we changed into negative 2, and also came up with the answer 0. So for our real roots, it's going to be positive 1, negative 2. Therefore, the factor of x squared plus 5x plus 6 is x minus 1 and x plus 2. For our fourth problem, x squared minus 9. So let's identify the leading coefficient and constant term and find their possible real roots. And for the possible real roots of 9, there is positive negative 1, positive negative 9, positive negative 3. Here we try to change the variable of x into 3. Of the variable x of the given question into 3, and I came up with the answer of 0. In the second real root, we changed it into negative 3 and also came up with the answer 0. So for our real roots is going to be positive 3 and negative 3. And therefore, the factor of x squared minus 9 is x plus 3 and x minus 3.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
And good night.
This is Steve Pan signing off.